Hello everybody. So I just wanted to show something I had kind of been working on as a side project outside of work but related to my work, but nonetheless something that maybe other people can use in the world. And that is this. This is a TPU slash ABS print that is a Multibellow large suction cup. So if you were to put a vacuum source on this and compress it and pull off, you have a suction cup, and could be used for picking and placing or of whatever. If you have a robot, it can be the end effector with a vacuum generator. It could also just be a big old like spring damper thing if you want to like do some vibration isolation or whatever. Give you a lot of stroke. It's almost like an accordion. So the TPU, I've been just amazed with this stuff. I'm printing with a Castle Clear with a big long Bowden tube, and I can get it out fairly fast, like 40 millimeters a second at 0.11 millimeter layer height. And this stuff is tough. Like, you can't tear that. And you can bend it all around, and it pops right back out. I've had one of these in the dishwasher at work now for like 3 weeks, and it's still fine there. So, yeah, I'm going to post this on Thingiverse. Some things I've realized. It's tricky to get the interface between the two materials correct if you only have a single extruder. This one was actually screwed up, but it still works. So what I found is that when you do the switch over, so basically I've been slicing it in Slicer 3 and 2 times, one for the TPU and one for the ABS, and then manually slicing it together. What I found is make sure you use the same layer heights, or else you miss point. I tried to do the ABS at 0.2 and the TPU at 0.1, but obviously that doesn't work, because when you lay down your first layer of TPU, if you don't account for it, you'll miss 0.1 of a layer, so that's a problem. And then the second thing is to control the extrude function at the pause interface and make it ram out like an extra 14 millimeters worth of extrude travel right when you switch. Basically that just pushes and builds up all the pressure in the TPU and the Bowden tube, so that when it does start to go, you got a nice thick line and not this little, under extruded line for a while until it finally catches up. So that was important. Other thing I learned, don't go any more than 6 millimeters high on the bellows, and I think I'm at like 40 degrees. A file will be on Thingiverse, so you can pull it off there. I think it's 40 degrees. Maybe it was 45. I found 0.1 millimeter layer heights made a good difference. Temperature, fan, no fan, hot, cold, enclosure, whatever, I didn't see much of a difference. I did jack it up to 230 C just to get some really good layer bondage. That seemed to help. If you go any higher than this, you get a lot of curl on the bellows, which you generally don't like, so maybe even going a little less than this at like 0.4 millimeter long sections here would help. The ones that are bowing out like this tend to then curl inward as the plastic cools. The upper part where your diameter is decreasing as you're going up, that tends to print very smooth. Keeping it so that it's just one single bead width on the bellows keeps it nice and pliable and functional as a bellow. So that's only a 0.4 millimeter thick wall all the way around. The one other thing to watch when doing a suction cup is you need to have some extra material right here on the inside of the lip to pull that lip back into its proper place after it seals. If you don't have that, which this cup didn't because it was one of my first test pieces, when you put it down and then you press too hard, that, of course, it's not going to do it right here. See if I can do it this way. How would I just make it do it? There. You'll get the lip to flap over itself, and that can happen and be a problem. So if you put some extra material on the inside, it'll help basically pull it back over center. So yeah, all those things, and you can have a suction cup. At first I was trying to do one smaller than this that was only like a 30 millimeter or 25 millimeter outside diameter, and I had troubles with that. I think it was too much heat buildup. This is like a 50 millimeter outside diameter, and it printed great. Maybe if you're trying to do smaller ones, you print multiple ones at the same time and let the heat spread out. But yeah, really cool multi-bellow suction cup. You could make this as long as you want and get a whole bunch of Z-stroke if you're doing something. So, I don't know. Probably not all that useful for doing like pick and place electronic boards, assembling electronic boards or something, but I don't know, you could have like an at-home automated cookie line or something. Pick up a cookie, put it in the box with a robot. Could be fun. Enjoy.